Science 3, Quarter 4, Week 1. For today, we are going to study the importance of surroundings to people and other living things. Are you ready to learn? Learning competency with code. The learners should be able to relate the importance of surroundings to people and other living things. Many things make up our surroundings. It is made up of living and non-living things. These living things include people, plants, animals, while non-living things include waterforms, soil, rocks, and other landforms. Plants and animals are important elements of the human world. Planet Earth is a good place to live in. It provides all the things we need. It is rich in natural resources. For today, we are going to tackle the different water forms and land forms. But before that, let's have a short game. I want you to arrange the scrambled letters to name the body of water which is shown in the picture. Are you ready? The first body of water. What do you think is this? Arrange the scrambled letters to name the body of water. Very good. It is a lake. How about this one? Very good. It's a sea. The third one? You got it right. It's a pond. How about this one? Correct. Ocean. The fifth one? Very good. Hot springs. Very good. It's a dam. You got it right. Waterfalls. And very good. River. A body of water surrounded by land is either a lake or a pond. The water in lakes comes from a river. A pond or a lake may form when part of Earth's surface caves in and leaves a hole. Rain or water from underground, springs and rivers fills the hole until it becomes a lake or a pond. A lake is usually bigger than a pond. Remember, a lake is a large area of water that is surrounded by land. And this is an example of a pond. Some lakes were once volcanoes. They were formed when craters of dead volcanoes are filled up with rain. Do you know that Taal Lake is from the crater of Taal volcano? So this is the Taal Lake. Another example of lake is Mount Pinatubo Lake. It was formed after the eruption of Mount Pinatubo. Some ponds are made by humans. There are ponds that are used to raise fishes and shrimps. Many freshwater fishes like tawilis, bangus, tilapia, dalag, hito, and sinarapan lives in lakes and ponds. Next we have the river. Rivers are flowing bodies of water. They are in between lands. River water comes from a highland called the head. It may end into an inland body of water called the lake or into the sea. The place where the river ends is called the mouth. Fishes like hito, biya, carp, and dulong are found in rivers. You can also find clams in rivers. And people enjoy bathing in rivers. There are lots of rivers in the Philippines. Cagayan River is the longest river in the country. Some rivers are called underground or subterranean rivers. The famous underground river is the Puerto Princesa Subterranean River National Park, which is located in Palawan. A spring, on the other hand, is water that comes from underground and returns to the surface. Some springs are hot. Water from hot springs passes through cracks on earth where there are hot rocks. Hot springs are also good for therapy. One famous spring in the Philippines is the Makinit Hot Spring, which is located in Coron, Palawan. Makinit Hot Spring is the only salty hot spring in the country. Next we have the groundwater. Groundwater fills the spaces between soil particles and fractured rock beneath the Earth's surface. When rain falls, the water seeps into the ground. Groundwater may be found in a deep or shallow part of the ground. It may return to the surface naturally through springs or go into lakes. It may be extracted through a well. It is cool and clean. The impurities in water are filtered as it passes through the layers of rocks and salts. It is used for drinking and planting. Do you know this body of water? Very good. Waterfalls. Water that rushes down a mountain and falls off is called a waterfall. Water from a waterfalls flows downstream into a river, which may then converge with other rivers that flow into a plain. Together, they merge into a bigger river that moves to the sea. One of the most famous waterfalls in the Philippines is the Pagsanhan Falls in Laguna. The Maria Cristina Falls, on the other hand, is considered as the second highest waterfall in the Philippines, as is found in the suburbs of Iligan City on Mindanao Island. Aliwagwag Falls in Catil Davao Oriental is considered as the tallest falls in the Philippines. The sea is a large body of water. It meets the mouth of a river. It is the major source of fishes such as tuna, lapu-lapu, dilis, mackerel, sapsap, and galunggong. Squids, seaweeds, and shellfishes are also found in sea. Now, the question is why it is salty? Do you have an idea? Very good. As river flows, the water dissolves salt from soil and rocks, which are carried to the sea. The biggest sea in the Philippines is the Philippine Sea. An ocean, on the other hand, is a body of salt water. It is the largest body of water. Generally, an ocean is bigger than a sea. The sea is a part of the ocean. We have five oceans: the Arctic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean, which is considered as the largest ocean, the Indian Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, and the Southern Ocean, which is known as the Antarctic Ocean. Now let's proceed to landforms. Landforms are the shapes of the land on Earth's surface. Landforms are also important to people. The Philippines has many landforms. These include volcanoes, mountains, hills, plains, valleys, plateaus, and islands. Many food sources come from plants and animals grown on land. The plants provide shelter and safety for animals. Do you know this mountain? Very good. It is Mount Apo, which is located in North Cotabato and Davao. Mountains are higher than their surrounding area. They have steep slopes and they serve as habitats for different kinds of wild animals. They are also a major source of minerals. Agricultural products like wood and fruits may also be grown and harvested from mountains. Water may also flow down from mountains. Mountain soil is usually rich in water. Their texture ranges from rocky to sandy. As mentioned a while ago, Mount Apo in Davao is considered as the highest mountain in the Philippines. It has a height of 2,954. Next we have hills. The famous hill in the Philippines is the Chocolate Hills in Bohol. Hills are elevated portions of the land that are formed by geologic activities such as faulting, usually covered with grass, and are used as grazing lands for goats, cattle, and carabaos. And they are smaller than mountains. Next we have the plains. A plain is a flat region. Plains occur as lowlands and at the bottoms of valleys, but also on plateaus or uplands at high elevations. The central plain of Luzon plays a huge role in the production of rice. Thus, it is known as the rice granary of the Philippines. This is an example of archipelago. An archipelago is a group or chain of islands clustered together in a sea or ocean. Next, we have the peninsula. A peninsula is a body of land extending far out into the water and is almost surrounded by water. These are examples of valleys. Valleys are flatlands between hills and mountains. Some valleys have waterforms in them. The soil in valleys is fertile. The famous valleys in the country are Cagayan Valley in northern Luzon, Compostela Valley in Davao, and La Trinidad Valley in Benguet. What are these? Do you have any idea? Very good. These are plateaus. Plateaus are high flatlands. They are separated from the other areas of steep slopes. Famous plateaus in the Philippines include Benguet, Tabuk, Tanawan, and Bukidnon. Bukidnon is the main producer of pineapple in the country. Do you know that Baguio City is an plateau? Many towns, cities, and agricultural areas are located on plateaus. This is an airport on a plateau. This is Baguio City Lawakan Airport. Do you know what is this landform? Very good. It is a volcano. A volcano is an opening in the Earth's crust through which lava, volcanic ash, and gases escape. Beneath a volcano, liquid magma containing dissolved gases rises through cracks in the Earth's crust. Do you know that the volcano is complex? Because instead of rising from the ground as a distinct singular dome like its neighbor Mayon, Taal consists of multiple stratovolcanoes, conical hills, and craters of all shapes and sizes. Bininti ang Malaki, and the largest cone is visible on the northwest side of the island, at the end of an isthmus. Many food sources come from plants and animals grown on land and water. Farmers plant rice, corn, cassava, potatoes, vegetables, and fruits in farms and fields. Meat and dairy products like milk, butter, and cheese come from cows, goats, and pigs. Mountains are sources of big trees that are used as raw material in building homes, furniture, and paper products. We can also get our food from the different bodies of waters. So, it is important to take care of our surroundings. We need to continue planting trees to reduce soil erosion and floods. Garbage should be segregated into biodegradable and non-biodegradable. Refrain throwing garbage in the different bodies of water. Do not overly use fertilizers and pesticides because it will pollute the soil. Now, let's have sets of activities. Activity 1. Complete me. Identify the different water forms and landforms by filling in the blanks. Write their importance to people and other living things. Number 1. What do you think is this landform? And I want you to write its importance to people and other living things. Number 2. What do you think is this? Number 3. What do you think is this landform? And write its importance to people and other living things. Next, what do you think is this? Next one. Are you familiar with this water form? Activity 2. Choose the best. Choose the letter of the best answer. Number 1. Which of the following is not necessarily important to people? A. Water. B. Earrings. C. Animals. D. Plants. Which of the following is not necessarily important to people? Number 2. Why is groundwater important? Why is groundwater important? A. It is used for drinking. B. It is used for bathing. C. It is used for cleaning and washing clothes. D. All of the above. The best. Number 3. What will happen when water and soil are polluted? What will happen when water and soil are polluted? A. There will be famine and epidemic. B. There will be drought. C. There will be less food for the people. And D. All of the above. Number 4. Which of the following practices conserves the soil? A. Burning garbage. B. Spilling chemical on soil. D. Using kitchen waste to make compost. And D. Dumping garbage on the street. Number 5. Which of the following practices does not conserve water? A. Turning off the faucet when the water container is full. B. Telling your parents to fix the leaking faucet immediately. C. Using a pail and a dipper instead of shower when taking a bath. D. Letting the water continuously flow from the faucet until you will finish brushing your teeth. Activity 3. Life Lessons. Answer the following questions briefly. Number 1. Why are the different water forms important to people? Why are the different water forms important to people? Number 2. What are the different uses of landforms? What are the different uses of landforms? Number 3. Why are plants and animals important? Why are plants and animals important? Number 4. Why we should take good care of our surroundings? Why should we take good care of our surroundings? And last number 5. How do we conserve and preserve the natural resources? How do we conserve and preserve the natural resources? Oh, this river? Very good. It's the Nile River. It is a major north-flowing river in northeastern Africa. Generally, regarded as the longest river in the world. It is 6,853 kilometers long.